Hey there, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is You Are Not Broken. I think there are many different ways we can associate the self as broken. When someone dies, when someone turns to ash or is placed in the ground, you might feel inside like you are breaking apart at this loss of this entity that you dearly loved, that you're used to having their flesh costume in your life, and just digesting that idea like, I'm not going to be able to call them, I'm not going to be able to talk to them in the same way. We all have psychic ability if we but tune in. So you definitely can commune with the dead once they exit flesh costume. Just based on my own experience, that's 100% true. Any given thing you've got to work at. Um, some of you may have developed it well in past lives, but we don't become an expert culinary chef or a professional painter typically overnight, right? So we develop life skills for careers or for what we're going to do, but we can develop life skills like psychic attunement and psychic communication. But it doesn't change the fact that we may feel heartbroken at the loss of someone we love. And that can be true when it comes to romantic relationships, sexual relationships. Every relationship I've ever had that has not obviously worked out since I'm still single, it breaks my heart. It is a way that I've said that in this life. That breaks my heart, breaks my sweet little heart. Because why is it that grown adult humans can't do whatever it takes to have something work? It's like I've said, I'm a long-termer. I'm a monogamous person. I want to mate for life. I relate to all the creatures that mate for life, and still it doesn't work in that way. Now, in the hubris of my youth, I can say there's absolutely things that I was doing that was causing that to not happen. There are ways that I failed people. There are ways that I possibly caused somebody to feel heartbroken or broken in response to my ignorant, unevolved behavior because I had some growing up to do. And I work constantly to forgive myself for that evolution work that I needed to do in my youth. And may you do that too. If there's something you've done where you've hurt another, no sense in carrying that poison around. Maybe now would be a good time to forgive yourself. You're not, the way Heather responds in relationship to 47 is nothing like the way she responded when she got married at 20. You know what I mean? I got married when I was like 20, 21. I was like a baby. And so the choices I made in my early 20s are not the choices that I make here at my midlife marker. I'm a completely different woman than I was then. And so if there's any poison you're holding from who you've been, that you feel like you've handed someone else something that broke them, now would be a good time to forgive yourself. You're allowed to grow. You don't have to know everything in the cosmos. You're allowed to evolve. You don't have to always be unconditional love in form. There would be no point in taking up the flesh costume because what we are is unconditional love without form. And we take up form to experiment with the idea of building content of character. And so yeah, number one, today would be a good day for your own healing and for your own integration to forgive yourself. And it's also a good day to forgive others, because part of feeling broken is feeling like what others have done have shattered you, have broken your heart. It's broken you. I'm quite shocked at some of the things two-leggeds have chosen in relationship to me based on who I be in relationship. I give a lot of verbal praise. I love touch. I'm very affectionate, and I'm just a total lover. I'm a total lover. I love to cook for the person I love. I'll rub your feet. I love to give, and as somebody who is a big giver, it's amazing to me how many two-leggeds have come into my life in a romantic capacity and have been in a state of attack. Like, why are you at war with me? We're just like hanging out, like being lovers. Like, if we're going to be in love, what are we fighting about? And a lot of two-leggeds are fighting with themselves. They're fighting with themselves because they feel like some experience from their past has broken them, whether that was an abusive family member or friend or lover, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually. Those experiences can make us feel broken, just like heartbreak from romantic relationships or death we can have experiences and traumas that can make us feel broken. And many shamans will say that when you have a trauma, when you have a challenge, when you face a serious traumatic experience, your soul splinters, fractures, or breaks, and shards or pieces of your soul remain at the trauma point. And I believe in infinite multiverses, and I believe that multiverses are created from beliefs. And so I think there's great validity for every shaman that believes that. My particular shamanic perspective on it is when you have a trauma, when you have a challenge, when you have a shadowy, darkened hour, you're being given the real awesome gift that is going to help you to develop the content of your character, or to decide what is the content of your character in relationship to this darkened hour. And often what will happen is we don't understand in the shock of a darkened hour, in the shock of a trauma. We even can hold our breath, which is why somatic therapy and rebirthing breath work can be quite profound, and definitely has helped me a lot. But we can even hold our breath, we can tighten the body, we can get really tense, and just literally not be able to physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually integrate what has happened. And we may even judge what has happened, like that person was bad and they were wrong. And that can cause certain layers of feeling divided. What I think happens at trauma points is the quantum light of our awareness remains with the trauma. And why does it remain with it? Because we want to integrate what is the gift? What is the grace? Why did that happen? Why has Heather had so much trial, tribulation, trauma, pain, suffering, heartbreak, death, car accidents, I definitely drive too fast. Talked to someone about that today. So that's probably why a bunch of car accidents. Yep. But I mean, I've had a lot of car accidents where I wasn't the driver even, and so why has all this happened? Because I wanted to understand the content called compassion, called unconditional love, called forgiveness. I, as a soul, came down with the big packet, and I was like, I want to do the big things, and I want to build the big content of character. And to this day, I still have to work on it every day. And all of those experiences, as I start to integrate the trauma, the shadow, there's a sadness in me, because as I forgive the judgments I placed on two-leggeds for how they've chosen to handle working with Heather Feather, loving Heather Feather, as I look at the ways two-leggeds have betrayed or failed the grace of union with me, what I recognize is what was happening is they're not in union with themselves, and they're struggling with their own self-bullying or self-attack, which I can relate to because I've done that too, haven't you? And so the sadness that kind of strikes me as I look at it is like, wow, it is kind of sad that so many of us struggle with handing the healthy thing, handing the loving thing. I once heard that 25% of the population is a type B personality, which includes narcissism, psychopathy, sociopathy. Like, type B personality is a very challenging personality matrix to deal with. And they can be charming, but they also can be very manipulative. And that's a fourth of the population. So it's not that surprising, actually, if you find you've gotten into a relationship with someone and then they were really toxic, because a lot of that personality matrix that I'm describing starts with charm and then ends with poison. And so what we do to recognize that we're not broken is we allow ourselves to understand that some experiences take time to integrate and make sense of, right? It takes time. It has taken Heather a very long time to understand that I am the authority on my body. I am the authority on if it is shared with another. And I am the authority on deciding if I'm going to have preferences with my body, right? And I don't have to just be open to everything. I can make choices even. And we're not often taught that. Many of us are taught, no, your body is going to take what it gets. And it's all of the experiences I've had with people mistreating, misusing, sexually abusing my body that have caused me to be a woman with tremendous inner authority. and it hasn't spoiled or ruined my sexuality, and it hasn't, I'm as healthy as I could ever get sexually, and still I've had a lot of really traumatic experiences at the hands of others. And that's okay. It's taught me a lot. It's added a lot of content to my character. It's opened my throat chakra. It's given me the freedom to speak up, all the car accidents I've been in have given me the opportunity to like, hey, let's be a little bit more attentive. I was given that reminder today, like, let's be a little bit more attentive as to how we're moving in the world, because I'm so ethereal. I need those reminders, like, hey, you're a body, you're playing body in a car, you're playing, okay, thank you. Yes, I'm playing body in a house. Let me not leave the stove with the fire on, right? Thank you. Good reminders. I'm deeply grateful. So sometimes we are taking the hallway between two rooms to get where we need to go, and we get frustrated when we're in the hallway and we're just like, I can't find where I'm going. And it's like, well, you just haven't arrived yet. You just don't know what door to open. There's a bunch of doors. Just allow yourself, as a friend once taught me, to be in the hallway. Allow yourself to be in the hallway for a minute and just trust that there's going to be an awakening and a point at which it's going to make sense. You're going to integrate it. There's going to be a point at which Heather is with the love of her life, and whatever trials and tribulations I've ever faced with any other two-legged, it's going to be completely forgiven, because I know all of those experiences led to the grace of me getting to love my beloved and hold their hand, and it will all have been worth it at that point. So I'm not there yet, right? I haven't met that person yet. I'm not with that person yet. And still, right now, what I can do is take the time to integrate the shadowy, darkened experiences and come to understand where the quantum light of my attention remains in the past, start to understand, what did I get out of that? What did I get out of that failed relationship, or that failed relationship? Or what did I get out of that car accident? Or what did I get out of that death? How did it add to my understandings of life? How did it deepen me? How did it cause me to be more colorful, richer, more generous of spirit, more compassionate, more empathetic, more emotionally intelligent, more understanding? There are a lot of things in the form-based world, and form can break. But we are not these flesh costumes. We are not this form. We are content. We are the content of a character. And so nothing can break the content of your character. Everything you're experiencing is adding to the content that is you. And certain experiences, you're just not done with the storyline unfolding and you integrating and understanding how XYZ experience added to all that you be. So today I wanted to take a moment to awaken Sahasrara, the crown chakra. This is the lotus blossom on the top of the head, just like we have the rose petals grounding into the earth in Muladhara, the root chakra. And so we can close our eyes and go into our inner temple of light, our inner prize, deepen our breath. And as we breathe in, love the body, the mind, the heart, the spirit that you be. Love your inner sea. And as you exhale, forgive yourself for everything that you've ever needed to learn here at Earth School. You have a right to grow. Inhaling self-love. I love me. I love my mind. I love my body. I love my spirit. I love all that I say, all that I do. And as you exhale, I forgive me for everything I've ever needed to learn. I'm allowed to grow too. Begin to bring your awareness to the top of your head, where you may see a magenta or pinkish purple light right on the top of your head, and allow that ball of light begin to grow and to glow with your natural breath. Every inhale and exhale, expanding this light on the crown of your head, awakening you to oneness, to I am that I am that I am. Everything you look upon, I am that I am, allowing you to have union with all of creation, dropping this false idea of separation, allowing yourself to connect with your breath, to your divine essence, to your sacredness, to your holiness. How beautiful and sacred the love that you are is. What a wonderful treasure you possess. If there's anything you've been holding that feels too weighty, simply gather that up in the breath, exhale it blessed away from you now. And as you open your eyes, recognize you can give your prize fresh air, and water to activate your crown. Amun.